Today on NerdOut, let's have a tea party. Welcome back to NerdOut, the show where we take a look at Cardano, we break it down, but we don't dumb it down. Today we're talking about let's have a tea party. Tau, the tax rate parameter of Cardano. So let's jump right into it. The history of the Tau parameter. It's also known as the Treasury cut parameter or the Treasury tax rate parameter. The Treasury itself was created at the beginning of the Shelley era. So we moved from Byron into Shelley and the Treasury was created. It was decided by the founding entities that the rate of tax would be 20%. So 20% of all your transaction fees go into the Treasury, and also 20% of all staking rewards go into the Treasury right off the top. So every epoch, before rewards are paid out, 20% of whatever total rewards goes, boom, right into the Treasury. And at the time that was decided, ADA was somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 cents US dollars. And the idea was we wanted to quickly grow the Treasury to provide for future growth and development of the ecosystem. So a little bit of the history of taxation. For any governing body, taxes are kind of the primary issue. Giving your consent to be taxed at a reasonable rate is a bit of a cornerstone of democracy around the world. Whenever we see this principle violated, it usually results in some type of political upheaval. For example, the Boston Tea Party resulted in the American Revolution. Sarah E. Wall in the 1860s, not 1960s, she refused to pay her taxes until women were granted the right to vote. That was a tax protest. And eventually, she helped push that through. So in general, the concept of no taxation without representation is a well-established principle of good governance. And because of how the Shelley era started, Cardano currently does not have consent of the governed for taxation. So we should have the opportunity to consent to taxes. What I am going to be doing is putting forth a governance action to reduce the Treasury cut parameter from 20% down to 10%. And this is within the current guardrails of the Constitution. If D-Reps vote yes, great, wonderful, we get a tax cut. If they vote no, that's also great, because at the end of the day, we will have affirmed a tax rate that we, the Cardano community, consent to. If somebody else wants to put up their ADA and put forth an increase tax, that's fine too. For me personally, I'm not loaded with ADA, so I can only put up one at a time. So a little bit more of the why continued. If you want my complete rationale and all the people that helped me create this proposal, you can read the posted write-up in the governance action itself. That'll go into all the details, all the math, what the expected outcomes of this governance action would be. Also, why I did it this way, because it's a public blockchain. I don't have to ask permission to do it. I know typically we like people to go through the forum, do posts, discuss it, and that's a fine way to do it, but at the end of the day, it's permissionless and decentralized, and I don't have to follow anybody's process if I don't want to. And for this one, I didn't want to. I feel like it's self-evident that we should vote on this particular parameter before we really move forward with any other governance. And also, the Treasury is currently enormous, and if you say ADA is $3, it can last for many, 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 many years already. And I kind of prefer to encourage more competition for a limited amount of Treasury funds. And if we need to increase the Treasury, I would prefer to see that happen via more on-chain transactions as opposed to just a higher tax rate. The other thing this will do is it should make us slightly more competitive with other proof-of-stake blockchains when it comes to rewards levels. So it will result in an small increase in everybody's staking rewards if you stake to your local SPO. And that is all the rationale I want to discuss in this video. I'm happy to discuss more online, on Twitter, on forums, whatever avenue you feel comfortable with. And I'm not going to dox any of the people that helped me with this proposal, but you know who you are, and thank you for all your help. If you choose to dox yourself later as having helped out on this, that's fine. The proposal itself on chain will not list any authors. That's kind of the way we wanted to do this one. But with that, happy voting and nerd out.